Welcome to episode 36 of the Game Time Gents podcast. It is Nardi, Fish, and Zoltowski. Say hi, boys.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you. And we are back. We are a week removed. Unfortunately, we did plan a stream or a podcast to do last week. We were doing a tier list, and we eventually hit 2 hours, which we don't like to go over. And we had, 13 teams still left to go through?
There's a lot still. A lot of great, valuable information, though.
A lot of great valuable information, definitely. So we are going to eventually do something with the tier lists, but they're no longer going to be in podcast form. So what we have for you today is just our thoughts on the draft. It's our way too late draft debacle, everything we want to talk about. We're going to talk about each of our teams, the Browns, the Lions, and the Eagles. We're going to talk about how we think that our teams did. We're going to go over the teams that we think did the best in the draft. We are going to talk about Shadder slides, any fantasy implications out there that we see coming, and then any other crazy stories we have. So if we miss anything, make sure you leave a comment. Let us know what we missed, and we might bring it up on the next show. We do not have a guest today. Obviously, as you can see, it's just the three of us. But we are going to close this episode with a draft of our favorite baked goods. So, three hefty boys, we know some baked goods. Don't we, boys?
Love a baked good.
Love a good baked good.
Here's Zoltowski breathing heavy right now.
He's ready for it. All right, but we want to talk about some upcoming changes to the podcast. We're going to be launching a gaming channel to go along with our podcast channel. So we don't have a name for it yet. I'm going to dabble with some things on YouTube, see what's available, but keep an eye out for that. That's going to be us gaming with our friends, playing things like, who knows, Repo, Phasmophobia, Call of Duty, maybe Marvel Rivals in there as well. So we'll just put out a bunch of gaming things where we do co-op games, all that kinds of stuff. We will be streaming that stuff as well. So keep an eye on our Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/GameTimeGents. And then we will also be doing our tier lists and our other long form content on there. We experimented with a draft watch party, which I think that we thought was a really, really fun idea. I know I had fun with that. I'm sure you guys did too. But
I enjoyed it.
It was a good time.
We did have a couple guests during that stream. Now, they weren't on Facecam, but they did give their analysis of some picks, so that was pretty fun. But that's what's going on for the podcast. Now, Zoltowski, you have some football news for us, don't you?
Yeah, so I saw this earlier today. It'll be late news by the time this comes out, but Justin Tucker has been released from the Rams in what they're calling a football decision due to the allegations from 16 different massage therapists. We've got Deshaun Watson Jr. Makes sense because they did draft a kicker this year as well. So, I mean, good to see that a team is actually releasing a player when they have these allegations instead of signing them to like a huge contract that drains most of their money. So,
yeah, it's
your favorite team, man. They're making good decisions.
We are. Ravens pretty good, pretty solid,
pretty great. Yeah,
they could just make it past the divisional round.
True, and he did mean the Ravens, not the Rams there. But yeah, we're gonna talk about.
Did I say the Rams?
You did.
Yeah. It's okay. It's the first time I get it.
That's fine.
Jesus Christ. Let's start over. Run it back.
We're not here for the accuracy. We're here for the vibe. So
cut it out.
All right, but we're gonna go through our draft review. So all three of us are gonna go over what we thought about our team's drafts. So
probably go by draft pick order.
Oh, so that means I have to go first.
Yeah, I'll go last.
Yeah. That's just rude. All right, I can go first. All right, so the Browns were originally picked 2. They did make a trade with the Jaguars. They traded the second overall pick 104 of the 2025 draft, and pick 200 of the 2025 draft to get the 5th overall pick up a first for next year. They also got the 36th pick and then the 126th pick in the draft. So they did make that trade. Now, I'm kind of fine not getting Travis Hunter because he's probably going to be a generational player. Who knows? But I know he's kind of small when it comes down to it. Yeah. And he wants to play both ways. I don't think any team really evaluated him to play one position because he's been so adamant on playing both ways, which would be insane for an NFL player to do. The closest player to do that was Charles Woodson, and he outweighs Travis Hunter by probably a good 25 pounds of muscle. So
Deion did it too. He started, I think he had the one where it was eight games as well on defense as offense.
Deion did too. Yeah.
Yeah. And he played baseball.
Yeah. Deion played baseball too. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel more comfortable with us picking Mason Graham. He was the number 1 rated D tackle in the draft. And if you're a Browns fan, Lord knows we've needed help at that interior defensive line position for a long time. Now, the Browns really did go for defense with their first few picks there. We did pick up, his name is Carson Schwezinger, I believe his last name is. Linebacker from UCLA. They nicknamed him Captain America. He is going to fit in great for the Browns. There's been a lot of issues with the linebacker position, especially with the injury to Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He has been spotted in the building, but he's been battling an injury that I think a lot of the fans don't know how serious it is. He's been having some issues with his back, and I believe I've heard rumors that the injury was very close to Ryan Shazier's, so hopefully he can bounce back and be great, because he's a great off-ball linebacker. He's very, very good at pursuing the ball carrier and finding the ball. So hopefully he comes back. He's also a very good coverage linebacker. Carson's a little bit different. He's more of your like Luke Kuechly type, which I guess he was a very good off-ball linebacker as well, but he's more of a run stopper, I would say. Really getting in there, kind of plugging up the holes, all that stuff. So I really like those 2 picks for the defense. Our defense kind of struggled last year down the stretch. Our DBs are very good. We have Myles Garrett, who's always a beast. He's going to make any defense better. But having Mason Graham to pair with Mike Hall Jr. on the interior now is just going to make that defensive line so much scarier. So very happy that we focused on the front 7 with our first 2 picks. And then we drafted a tight end out of Bowling Green in the 3rd round, which is a very, very good home run pick for us. The Browns fans, very close to Bowling Green, so only 2 hours away from Cleveland. There's a lot of people that are happy with the Harry Fannin Jr. pick. He is
college team too.
Yes, very much so. He's going to be very talented. He's going to be great to learn from Njoku. Kevin Stefanski loves to run 2 tight end sets, so I'm very happy to see how he's going to fit in there. And then we drafted a couple pairs of players as well. So with one of those picks we got from Jacksonville, we did draft Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State. And we also drafted Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee. So a couple pretty good running backs there coming out of the collegiate level. Now, this has kind of wrote the fate of Nick Chubb on the wall, especially with Jerome Ford's pay cut he just took. Unfortunately, I don't think Chubb is going to come back as a Cleveland Brown, but I'm pretty happy with the talent that we have back there now. Especially with Quinshon, he's more of an every down back kind of guy. And then Dylan Sampson's kind of like that home run hitter. Quinshon's going to bruise him up, and then Dylan Sampson's going to come in and get, 20, 30 yards on a carry and just keep the offensive mode rolling. So we did also do what the Browns do and draft quarterbacks. So we'll see if one of them sticks. I think Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco are pretty much going to battle for the job going into the year. And then we're going to have Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. And then we'll talk about this guy later, Shedeur Sanders from Colorado, who had one of the craziest slides in NFL draft history. So overall, I think that the Browns did really, really well in their draft. They did not get a couple of offensive pieces that they needed. Left tackle is especially a necessity there. And then wide receiver is also listed as a necessity, but we do have Jerry Jeudy. We do have Cedric Tillman coming back. We did lose Elijah Mitchell, unfortunately, but keep an eye on a kid named Jamari Thrash. He's been pretty good for the Browns in the preseason, and I think a lot of people are hoping this is his time to get his start going in the NFL. So pretty excited for what next year is going to hold. Hopefully we are able to compete in the AFC North. So.
Yeah, I think the Browns drafted very, very well. The biggest thing for them was that trade that they made with Jacksonville. A lot of capital out of that, and you capitalize on those draft picks you got this year. And then the first rounder next year is huge because it's going to be a high round pick.
Definitely.
It's going to be top 5, I think, for sure. I don't think, Travis Hunter may be good on one side of the ball when he plays, but it's not going to be enough to change their whole outlook. They still are missing a couple pieces there. So that's huge for you guys. Mason Graham, like you said, loved watching him at Michigan. Only thing that sucks is he's probably going to finally lose his first game in the state of Ohio playing for the Browns. But that'll and the Schweizinger pick, your defense hopefully goes back to, 2023 when you guys had one of the top defenses in the league?
Yeah.
It was. Quinshawn and Dylan Sampson, great running back duo there. Chubb, I know you loved him. Sad to see him go, but those 2 major knee injuries, or was it 3?
So it was
you're
2.
Not gonna have...
It was the collegiate knee injury. He re-injured that knee, and then he broke his foot last year.
Yeah. So, you're just going to not come back the same after that. You're going to lose that explosiveness. He's getting up there. But Quinshawn's a good pick. Sampson can also catch out of the backfield for you. And the quarterbacks, you get them late, you get them cheap. If they don't work out, cool, you didn't blow a bunch of money on them. Especially, we'll talk about it more, but the Shedeur picks. Very smart. I know we've talked about it before. Fish will probably agree with me on that. That it's just a good pick to pick him up in the 5th round when he's, getting that real cheap rookie contract. Take a risk on him. If it works out, great. If he doesn't, hey, you didn't lose a whole bunch.
Right.
True.
So going back to the quarterbacks, and I'll just touch on this, Fish, before, or Zoltowski, before you go onto the Lions.
Yeah.
Stefanski's offense is very much a, play action, let things methodically run. As long as the quarterback has time, as long as the quarterback's able to move, he should be able to complete a good amount of his passes. So the 2 rookies they drafted last year, Dylan Gabriel had a completion percentage of 73.
Mm-hmm.
In Shedeur, I know that this has been a talking point for a lot of people. He had a completion percentage of 74. So I think that is why the Browns were so high on Dylan Gabriel as well as Shedeur. Shedeur has a lot of baggage. We'll talk about that. But, you think about the time when they had Baker. You think about the time when they had Joe Flacco. Those are 2 pretty accurate passers. Flacco especially, he was putting the ball on an absolute rope to guys down the field. So I think if they can learn behind Flacco a little bit, then they could both be successful in this offensive scheme. It's just, are they going to want to learn it? Are they going to be okay with sitting behind somebody for a year, which I'm more talking about Shedeur than
I was going to say there's
Dylan
one
Gabriel.
that is okay and one probably won't be. So
we'll have to see.
Well, we can elaborate on that more later. But that's good points there. Yeah. I'm excited to see them next year, especially that defense. Honestly, I'm excited to see what Mason Graham does in the NFL because he's just a force, and that's him and Myles Garrett together is going to be good to watch. But speaking of another good defensive player from the Big Ten, we'll go on to the Lions now, if you don't mind. Tyleik Williams from Ohio State. Lions took him with their first pick. I'm excited about that pick. They needed a little bit of help in there, especially with how hurt we were last year. Fish, don't even say it. But I think he's going to be also good with Hutch, who's also just an insane edge that is just going to cause havoc for offensive lines. Picked up a guard from Georgia, a big Georgia boy, 6'7", 308. That's a big man at guard. Put him pulling with Gibbs or Monty in the backfield, and he's going to lay someone out, make a big hole, and they're just going to take it and go. The one pick that I kind of questioned was the 3rd round, the Isaac Tesla from Arkansas. I know we got Amon-Ra, we got Jamos had some issues, but we've always used Laporta. Gibbs can catch it out of the backfield. Monty can too. Patrick came in and fit in very well last year when we needed him. Maybe he's just that extra guy to have back there. I mean, he's 6'4", 214. He's a bigger guy. Um, I mean, hopefully he'll work out. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell know what they're doing when it comes to drafting. So I have faith that they picked for a reason. Another one, the edge from Boise State we got in the 6th round, Ahmed. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name because I'm going to butcher the hell out of it. But watching him, some of his highlights, he's very quick off the ball as well. Got a lot of power behind him, 6'2", 267. So just trying to stack up that defense. The one thing we didn't get that we needed was a center, which maybe we take Tate or Miles Fraser, who they drafted in the 5th round from LSU as a guard. Maybe they're going to convert one of those to center because Miles Fraser from LSU is 6'6", 317.
It's a big center.
Maybe that's the it's a
big boy.
It's a big boy. Center.
But hey, I mean, center's a pretty important position. We'll see. But overall, I'm happy with the draft. I think we picked up the pieces we needed. Got a little extra help in the safety. Even picked up another wide receiver in the 7th round from Georgia. Drafted 3 guys from Georgia. Are we copying the Eagles here?
I mean, it seems to be a working trend.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Howie's a genius. I'll say it right now. But excited to see what we can do on the defensive front there, and just strengthening that offense that works really well. Honestly, surprised we didn't try to take a quarterback kind of late with how many quarterbacks there were available in this draft. Maybe we're waiting until next year. Could be. Not saying I want to get rid of Goff, but every quarterback has their end route, and I don't think Hendon Hooker really is gonna work out there. But I don't know. I haven't really seen much of him because Goff has been in there all the time, even when they're up by 40. We can fix that next year.
Yep.
But overall, happy with it. Like I said, excited for the season to start already. I miss football. Hockey's great, but that's coming to an end too. And then I'm just stuck with baseball, which isn't bad, but they can't hit people. So
I'm glad you brought up the edge rusher. So he's very different from Aiden. So he's shorter. He's stouter. It's gonna be cool to see both of those guys come off the edge, and especially if did the Lions flip defensive ends for the strong side of the ball?
I'm honestly not sure.
Because the Browns move Miles, so I'm not sure if
I think they do.
Okay.
I think they do that. Just because Hutch is very, he's very crafty. If you watch him, he's good with any type of move, swim, spin, rip.
Right.
All that, and he still does have power, but he's going to be, I think he might stick to the strong side, or what they'll do is they'll have him more as Hutch will go outside, like in a stand-up, and then he'll be right there on the tackle and tight end. He's the power guy, so they can't double team both of them, and if they do, I mean, Hutch or him might break through. He's a power guy, 100%. He's a power rush for sure there.
Just as a blocker, it's going to be interesting to go from blocking like 6'7" more lean Aiden Hutchinson to then you got this 6'2" guy that's just going to try and run right through you. So
yeah, well, we love that.
Yeah, that's a good idea for the Lions there.
Hey, that's probably what they're thinking.
I hope Isaac Tesla pans out, man.
I do too. I think he will. I think we'll be fine. We're really good at molding guys. I mean, look at what they did last year when they were just picking up pieces from every which where to plug holes in that defense. Ended up 15-2 record. I mean, they picked the last game against the Vikings. I think it was Amik Robertson is his name. He played Jay Jettas in high school and then in college, and they gave him a shot, and he locked him down. And I think that was one of his first couple games that he had played at that position. So the Lions are very good at that. So I think and if he doesn't work out at wide receiver, he's 6'4", 214. Maybe he turns into a tight end. Maybe they turn him into a tight end. Who knows?
It's a quick tight end, 4.3 40.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, they love to run that 2 tight ends too. They do. They love to load that line.
Yeah, I selfishly hope he does well because I have an autographed rookie card of him. So Or collegiate card, I should say.
Only benefits him, and then he'll support it.
Just
Crazy.
played him a retirement.
Is it numbered though?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, then it's not worth that much, anyways.
My God, in an alley of an Arby's, some kid was selling it. No authenticity.
I'll give it to you for 1 beef and cheddar. Hey man, I've got 3. Take 1. Give me the card.
Seems like a good idea. Seems like a great idea.
I got 3. Take 1.
I didn't order 3. They just happened to slip one in the bag.
Oh yeah, they gave me a whole extra sandwich, man. Oh, it's fine. It was free.
It's crazy. Is that my voice?
Yeah, 100%. Except it cracks so much more.
Yeah, I can't do the
I can't order extra sandwich. I don't have to do that.
We're also gonna add a voice crack counter. I know we've been saying that forever, but
oh, dude, it's been 36 weeks we've been saying it for.
Yeah, it's been a while.
For it.
It's been a while.
You put it. Look, you got space. You put it right below you.
Yeah,
on the screen,
yeah,
right
that's
there.
Exactly what I want.
Right there. Other way, this way. Sorry, it's all mirrored over here.
Wait, yes, that way.
Right here, down here.
Oh, the whole beer thing is throwing me off.
Right down here, right?
Yeah, right below you.
Whoa.
All right, Fish, you only got 18 picks to evaluate here, man. So why don't you go ahead and get started?
Yeah, so the needs that the team in general needed: an edge rusher, a tight end, receiver, OG, offensive guard, and a D tackle. We covered 2 of those. The reason why that I'm not upset that we didn't cover the tight end or wide receiver, we still have Dallas Goedert. He'll play for another couple more years. And we also have Calcaterra, who's relatively young, who knows the offense. We like to run some of the 2 tight end sets as well. Goddard still has a pep in his step, so don't think we need to address it this draft, right? There's only 2 really solid tight ends that we would have wanted, and they went already. So not the end of the world. Wide receiver, who I think we have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, I think, is there. Jahan Dotson is still on the roster on the depth chart. I know we're trying to get rid of him. We didn't pick up his 5th-year option. We might be working out a deal to sign him for a little longer on a minimal deal. So, again, not worried that we didn't address that. The O guard thing, I think the front 5, 6, 38 that we have up there, I think they're young enough to still play. I think the only one that's a little bit of a concern that's about aging out is Lane Johnson. We did pick up a couple of O tackles in the draft, but it was round 6, both of them. So just kind of filler spots until now. But I'll cover the draft right now, what we picked, the first 3 picks. I thoroughly enjoyed, right? So we lost some big heavy hitters. That's what happens when you win the Super Bowl. Young guys are like, okay, I got the ring, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and chase the money. So Milton Williams did that. Josh Sweat did that. We got rid of Darius Slay because he was going to probably ask for $20 million per year. Not going to happen. And then Chancey Sauce Gardner, whatever his name was, he kept running his mouth and was also going to want, a king's fortune. We've replaced them, surprisingly. Campbell out of Alabama, the linebacker, somehow dropped again mysteriously in our laps. He was ranked, I think Mel Kiper, when he was off his knees, I think he was saying that he was about 13th ranked player in the draft, and somehow he fell to 31. We made a quick trade with the Chiefs to then pick him. So a massive human being to beef up that linebacking core. Again, we also have Vic Fangio, who I think is a pretty good D coordinator, to then pair up with Zach Bond, who we just signed in the offseason again, and then Nakobe Dean once he's back from his injury. Next on the list, when we swooped around in the 2nd round, we picked up Andrew Mukuba, safety out of Texas. This guy hits like an actual Mack truck. There's no fear in this man of laying the lumber on somebody. And again, we did lose one of our safeties. Yeah, we have Reed Blankenship. We got Sidney Brown. That's great. Again, need to beef up the D-line somehow. We use multiple different safety opportunities there, along with nickel corners. Vic Fangio kind of ran whatever he wanted. If you wanted 4 safeties out there, guess what? You got 6. It didn't matter at any point. Vic was just going to run his thing. So watching a lot of highlights from him, very impressed with what I've seen so far. Plays the coverage ball well, but also his run down speed is excellent, and then especially covering over the middle, he can really lay some lumber there. So excellent pick there for the Eagles. Sorry, got to moisture up the vocal cords here. Talking a lot here. Got another 45 minutes, so everybody take a nap if you want.
He's filibustering.
In the fourth round, we swooped up a guy named Ty Robinson from Nebraska, D tackle. Had one of the quickest 40 times, I think, at 4.8.
The fastest.
Second,
yeah, 4.83.
Which is great. Again, watching a lot of highlights, and of course, everybody goes in the rabbit hole of, okay, who's this guy? Never heard of this guy in college. Let me watch some of his highlights. Highlights look great. He's going to really, and again, we live in that trenches, so he'll be that replacement for the Milton Williams when he rotates in with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and the rest of them. So, again, another big guy to kind of sit in the middle, dig up the trenches. He does have rundown speed, so he can get those quarterbacks that are out of the pocket as well. So, again, only beefing up the trenches, which arguably won us the Super Bowl. We didn't have to blitz anybody. We just sent 4 guys, and Patty Mahomes didn't know what happened. So we love it. Picked up a cornerback, a couple other linebackers, again, to kind of beef up, and it's been an ongoing issue for years now, is that the linebacking core, we get a solid 2, solid 3, and then we rotate them out, and then it's just shit. What Vic Fangio and Nick Sirianni and the rest of the team have kind of understood, saying, okay, great, we'll get quality guys. So, yeah, we'll have the Jalen Carters, the Nakobe Deans, the Zach Bonds, who will play most of the game. But when they do get tired because they are human, we're going to rotate a guy in named Milton Williams, who is arguably right behind Jalen Carter, just as powerful. So there really isn't a break or lack of coverage when we filter those guys in. So, again, just beefing up the cornerbacks there. The one surprising pick that we did get was a guy out of Boston College in Syracuse, Drew Kendall at center. Because we got Juergens back there. I'm assuming it's just, beefing up spot, just another filler and player for him, just in case anything happens. But we did pick up Kyle McCord out of Syracuse, quarterback, who was apparently lights out in Syracuse, did really well over there. So with him and McKee,
pick for you guys.
I mean, it's good, right? You never know what happens. Football nowadays, people are way more physical, way more bigger, faster, stronger, but everybody's bone density is still the same, right? That hasn't changed in evolution. So it takes one hit. Zoltowski, overplaying your players, it takes one hit, and the whole season could be gone. So it helps, and I like what they've done. I think this is a very impressive draft for where we had to draft to the players that we got. Again, beefing up all the needs that we lost in the offseason, and how he's still doing it right now. He's picking up players left and right in the offseason, signing undrafted free agents. It wouldn't be an Eagles draft where he didn't get another linebacker out of Georgia, Mondon Jr., who had, I think, 16 and a half tackles for losses last year with like 206 tackles total overall. So very, very good. So I'm sure that he may actually play in a little bit of coverage there as well. But I think overall for the Eagles, for where they drafted, what Howie did, the picks that they accumulated for next year, I think they have like 22 picks next year, which is wild. So a lot of draft capital there, a lot of things that we kind of play around with. If we do want to move up and get that one guy that we really want, we have the opportunity to do it. So overall, I think the draft they did very, very well. It doesn't look like it based on the needs that they wanted, but hey, you know what? The players that they have now are, they're older, they're getting old, but still have plenty left in the tank. No need to rush it and jump on players now. Plenty more drafts to go. We're drafting defense. This is what the big staple for us. Offense is fine. The O-line is still great. Receivers are great. I think we have Saquon still, who I think was good last year. I assume he'll be good this year too.
Right.
So
he was decent. He was decent.
So I think overall, I think my team, our team, the Eagles did very, very well. I give them a B+ draft on it. A- for the draft capital that we got for next year, the amount of picks that we got, and then the incredible moves that Howie and them have done. I mean, letting players kind of fall and then picking them up. We're like, okay, is this just a normal thing for us? So I'm very impressed with what they do. But in Howie we trust. Let him do his thing. Crazy moves, non-crazy moves. we're here for it. So everything's a good decision for the Eagles. So
Yeah, I actually absolutely hate that you guys got Jahad Campbell, because I mean your defense was extremely great last year, and this just a great pick for you guys. Make the best better. I do, like I said, like I mentioned, I like the Kyle McCord pick. He was the FBS leader in passing yards per game and set the ACC single season passing yard record last year. 4 of his receivers finished the season with more than 60 catches. So I think if anything were to happen to Hurts, I think and even if he just sits behind Hurts the whole year, that's just great for your future. Very accurate. And then the 2 O tackles that you got, they're big guys.
they're
Miles
big. They're
Higgins,
big.
and he's from Michigan, so great run blocker right there for you, which is great for Saquon. He's 6'7", 323, and then Cameron Williams is 6'6", 317.
Yeah, we're trying to beef up. I mean, the old line that we've had, I mean, it's just very big men, right? Landon Dickerson is not a small man. Moilata is, I mean, there's huge guys there. So I think us not. Unfortunately, I like Mekhi Becton. I think he was asking for a little too much. Understandable. You get the ring. Go get the money, man. Absolutely go get the money. But I think those 2 guys there, I think that big, massive body being like, holy shit, I got to line up against this guy. Yep. And then you see Saquon bust through. It's like, okay, cool. There's no shot I can tackle him. Yeah. Having those 2 guys that are huge, massive walls. And of course, we got Stoutland there. Put anybody under Stoutland, any O-line, it doesn't matter. He'll coach them up. We'll train them up. Perfect. It's a perfect situation for those guys. Couldn't have been any better.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys like to rotate your offensive linemen between positions, correct?
So
move your guards to tackle and vice versa and all that stuff.
Yeah, it kind of started a few years ago when everyone on the offensive line got hurt. So we were just like, yeah, fuck it. You play there, try that. When was the last time you played left guard? Well, back in high school. Okay, great. Now you're playing it today in the NFL. I think that understanding of, okay, it seemed to work out then, and it kind of awakened, it kind of broadened that horizon of, okay, cool. Lane's playing tackle, but now he can actually pull out and switch to guard. Mailata can kind of come over. It expands the offense and kind of the tricks and plays that we can do with those linemen that are very, very flexible at those positions. Because as you know, Zoltowski, I'm sure you know, playing between a left guard and a left tackle is 2 different positions, right? Different body statures, the way that they kick out, the way that they move. But then having someone that's interchangeable is kind of a game changer, because it's like, okay, I thought Landon was lining up here, but now he's at right guard. What's going on? Head tap, hold on, call a different play. What's going on? Is it going left? You don't know. Now it just adds an extra element into, okay, a little bit of confusion, a little bit more pressure on the defense to make that right call. Most of the time it's going to be a run to the left with Saquon, but I mean, they don't know that. I'm not a coach or anything, but it just adds a lot of flexibility. We kind of found that when we were devastated by injuries there. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Take those 2 big tackles and have a set, just a power set, or even for the tush push set. You just got a massive wall there, and even the center you guys picked up, he's 6'4", 300. So I clicked away from it. So I'm not going to click back, but still shift them around. I mean that's going to fulfill your guard needs. Just because you didn't draft that specific guard position, I think you guys will still make it work. Unfortunately,
100%
for the rest of the league.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for everybody else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, next year's draft, we got 22 picks. We might pick up a guard. I don't know. We might swing around and get a receiver. We might get cute and get a tight end. I don't know. So, but it's just Howie doing Howie things, and it's just wild watching him wheel and deal, and everybody's like, all right, just let the psychopath do his thing. Let him make a deal and pick up 14 more picks for next year. So, I like it. I thought it was a good draft. I thought all 3 of our teams did very, very well, covered the needs. I know Nut. I think your thing's a little bit more interesting. I mean, there's a lot. Yeah. I think between the 3 of our teams, right, Zoltowski, yours and mine are very. This is what we need. We need the small pieces. I think Nut. This is a huge. It's not a risk. It really isn't for you guys. You got certain players, not a risk, but an insanely high reward if it pans out, which is going to be wild. So. I'm excited to continue to talk about it. I really am.
So I just wanted to touch on one of your players, Fish.
Touch on him.
It's I believe he was the 5th round pick, Drew Kendall. I think he's going to end up playing right guard for you guys, because you have Juergens at center, right? And then who's the left guard? What's his name? I can't remember his name. He's the guy that always popped over in center while Jurgens was hurt.
Yeah, not Dickerson.
Yeah, Landon Dickerson. Right?
Left guard, right? You said?
Yeah, Landon Dickerson.
Yeah, should be Dickerson.
Anyways.
And then Morlana, yeah.
Yeah, you have the same remaining linemen except for Mekhi Becton. So there's Drew Kendall kid. He's from Boston College. His dad actually played in the league.
Yeah.
For, I think, like 12 years or something. His name, I think it was Pete Kendall. I think is what his name was.
I thought it was Bob. Drew.
He played for the Redskins when they were the Redskins.
Yeah.
So he...
Did you say that?
They were the Redskins back then. You can say that.
All right, dude. Let it fly.
So I think him being a second generational player, he's a little undersized. Like, he's not as big as the rest of the offensive line, but I think he's going to be what Cam Jurgens was when Jason Kelce was there. Cam Jurgens played that right guard position, eventually moved to center after Kelce left. So I don't know how old Cam Jurgens is. This is just me going off of, like, vibes picks or something like that. I don't know. I think
Cam
that
Jurgens is 25.
Cam Jurgens is 25.
Yeah, he's
okay,
20,
so he's still pretty young. I don't know. I still think Drew Kendall is probably going to at least earn a spot on your roster because, like you said, anybody under Jeff Stoutland can play well. He's had the football background his entire life with his dad being in the league. And then you guys still have that, is it Tyler Steen? He came in when some players were injured last year. So you guys have
very well.
You guys have depth, and we've said on the podcast before, invest in the trenches and build where your best players are. Your best players are the trenches, especially that offensive line. So
yeah, it's gross.
I'm saying, great draft by you guys. Getting the third-rated center in the 5th round is pretty great, and I'm sure he can play guard. It's not that much different. You just don't snap the ball.
100%. I'm just getting closer and closer to football. I'm excited to see what these guys can do. Just see, it's nice. It's that ever since Vince Young said this is the dream team, we went 2-38. With Nnamdi Asomugha as corner, we thought he was going to be the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, it's a nice change. It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
As long as somebody can stop Patty Mahomes and Dallas shits the bed, I don't give a shit who wins.
I think Dallas is going to shit the bed regardless.
Yeah, I think
a lot of glory holes in Jerry Stadium.
Always shit in the bed.
It's too bright. It's too bright in Jerry Stadium.
It's too bright.
We don't need blinds to catch the ball. It's what we pay you to do.
His $1 billion receiver says it, and he goes, "Nah, I don't really care." All right, dude. Thank cool.
You.
All right, but you guys want to talk about who we think we had the best draft? Unfortunately,
yes.
I just want to get into that real quick.
Unfortunately,
so I think we're all at the consensus that it is unfortunately the Baltimore Ravens.
It did have a very, very good
and the
draft.
reason we're saying that is because basically I'm going to sound like
round.
Yeah, right. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but they drafted into their strengths again. The Ravens have had a good defense for the past, 2 decades, it seems like.
Yep.
They drafted another safety to play back there alongside Kyle Hamilton and Malachi Starks, safety from Georgia. He was the number 2 rated safety out of college last year. Georgia players defensively are amazing in the league, so I'm sure that's not going to change with Malachi, but I want to talk a little bit more about the next guy. We have Mike Green out of Marshall. He has been said to be like a very early talent, and he did have a draft slide just because of some off-the-field issues. He had some domestic violence things, or I'm sorry, were they domestic violence or sexual assault? Anyways, it doesn't matter, but he did slide in the draft, and the Ravens unfortunately picked him up. So the Ravens have been needing a prominent edge rusher for a while. Now they've had Odafe Owe, that was pretty good. He's there with Kyle Van Noy, but Van Noy's getting up there. I don't even know if he's still on their roster. So this Mike Green kid coming in, as long as he can keep his head clean and he can produce, I think that the Ravens, off of those 2 picks alone, have made a very strong statement for the best draft this year, unfortunately. So
yeah, 100%. It was 2 SA allegations, one in high school and then one in Virginia, which led to his transfer to Marshall. Nothing ever came of either of them, and they said they do their due diligence, which, I mean, dude just probably wants to play football. We've unfortunately not saying, I'll preface this first, not saying that all allegations against football players are false, but we have seen that in the past. I remember the guy from Baylor who wore the wild face mask and was just absolutely jacked. Yep, and his career was ruined by that. It came out later after he had spent time in prison that they lied.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with you there. I think they're just going to be dominant on defense as well in the AFC. Now, if they can just get over the hump in the playoffs, we'll see.
Let's hope they can.
There's a big thing there.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's going to happen. Same thing with the Bills. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
No. Who do you think it happens for first, the Bills or the Ravens? If you had to put a bet down, $5.
Ravens. It's got to be the Ravens. Like they were struggling at running back, then they pick up Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson's not as accurate as a quarterback as anyone else. He practiced the offense, he's got way more accurate. The only thing that's stopping him is an actual traditional solid number one receiver. A massive human he could throw to that's 6'2", 6'4", 210 pounds, who he can just lob the ball out there. Because Zay Flowers would be insanely good as W2 or a slot. And then like you said, I mean, the last couple of years they have addressed everything in their needs section. They get everyone that they needed.
Yeah.
So their defense now, again, it's gotta be boring being a Ravens fan just to watch your defense succeed year after year. I think it's got to be them. I think something happens with Josh Allen and them, and I mean he truly needs a traditional number one too. I don't know if Keon Coleman's the guy, but still a little young. But to get past the Patriots or not Patriots, the complainers, they always find a way to win regardless. I think they won 12 games by less than 7 points last year.
Yes,
they're gonna win it regardless. I think the Ravens have a better chance not meeting anybody else in the playoffs and then getting past that hump. Because I think if they get past that hump, I think they may take it all. It's a dangerous team. It really is. I think Lamar tries to do way too much in the playoffs. He should just go to regular season Lamar, and they'll win everything. Don't overthink it. Don't overpush yourself. It's the reason why you got a supporting cast there. So I don't know. I think the Ravens would go further. I think I would put a coffee on it that they would do it before the Bills do it.
I'd have to agree with that. I'd also put a coffee on it. Just with Buffalo, like you said, they're missing. They made some good picks, but they still don't have a true number one. James Cook did well at running back, but they still only really have him. So, and by the end of the season, he's going to be gassed. He's there, and Josh Allen can run the ball, but Baltimore, like Fish brought up with Derrick Henry, who's going to run the ball there? You run that option. I mean, either Derrick Henry's going to take it 80 yards and run through everybody, or Lamar's going to take it 35 because he's quick as hell. Because they're going to bite on the Derrick Henry run.
I think they also have 3 or 4 other running backs on the roster, so even if Henry does get tired, they can fill in somebody. Plus, they have that really quick
Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean he's still on the roster. I mean he flies. He's
their depth
small human,
is
but
so much better than the Bills.
1,000%.
Because I remember at the beginning of the season watching Josh Allen. I think in the first 3 games where he's really the reason that they won those games, and you're like, is he just going to do it all himself this year? And he did. I mean, Josh Allen had a fantastic game, won MVP, had a fantastic year, but I mean, it takes a toll on your body. And I think Fish is right. Lamar's trying to do too much in the playoffs. He's trying to do it all, whereas he just needs to realize, hey, I do have weapons. Like Zay Flowers is good. Mark Andrews, they need to use him a little bit. You don't think so?
I do. The guy's ass.
Well,
he's ass.
Put in the combination of him and Isaiah Likely had a good year.
He did.
He did. So,
Mark Andrews had a pretty good year.
It was ass
But
year.
I think he only had 10 targets though. His targets was low. But
Yes.
like we said, Derrick Henry, the Cavalier running backs behind him, and then Lamar himself. I mean, that team is on paper they're stacked to hell, and they should be making it every year. But something happens in the playoffs. But I think I have to agree with Fish that they're going to be the ones to get over the hump because they've got the weapons to do it. And if they can pick someone up in free agency or make a trade, to get that big target for Lamar, it's game over. I mean, that is what it is.
Mark Andrews 11 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, where was he
targets?
the first 12 games?
They were throwing it to Isaiah Likely,
True.
who couldn't get his toe in.
Ass.
Didn't Andrews also battle some injuries last year?
No. What?
I don't know. It's your favorite team, man. You should know this.
What injury did he battle? The cuticle? He got a hangnail?
Never mind. It looks like he played 17 games.
Yeah, he played 17. He barely broke a sweat in the first 12.
He only had 69 targets.
I know. I don't know what it's very, very low for him.
I think it's just that addition of Likely there.
I think it's the addition of goddamn Derrick Henry.
That
Because
too.
you just run it off for 60 yards. They're like, oh, okay, I guess Mark Andrews doesn't really need the touchdown or anything. That's fine.
Because
there he goes.
Screw me over.
Who did Baltimore lose to in the playoffs
Buffalo.
this year? Was it Buffalo? Okay, because I remember watching when they played in the regular season, and Baltimore just absolutely demolished Buffalo. I mean, it was a no contest. Josh Allen was trying to find something, and he couldn't find anything.
27 to 25.
On the 2-point conversion. Yep, that's right. So, again, if Lamar can go to regular season Lamar in the playoffs, golden. Which I hope they don't because, we don't need any more good AFC teams.
I would like for the Ravens to not win a game ever again. Personally.
I don't think that's ever going to happen because they have a pretty good coach out there, too.
Yeah, you just like anybody with the last name Harbaugh, don't you?
Dude, I've always liked watching. I miss that defense when they had Ed Reed and Lewis. I liked watching them, too. Ray Lewis would take a motherfucker's head off.
True, yeah.
Very true.
All right, so do we want to talk about fantasy implications or do we want to talk about Shador first?
I mean, there's just one really big fantasy implication that I can think of, and I think someone put it on there, and it's Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
I mean, because the Raiders
sure.
They have nobody else, and it's Pete Carroll. He's gonna do what he did with Marshawn Lynch, and he's just gonna feed Genty the ball. This man's gonna have 80,000 touches this year.
Yeah.
And I think, but the thing is it's like I said, there's no, hey, he's going to do okay. It's either he's going to just bring you all the points or he's not going to do a damn thing because they can't block anybody because they don't have a line. And he can only do so much or he's going to get tired. There's going to be no in between there. You're looking at one end or the other. But I still want to take him. So
yeah,
you want to trade,
I do too.
Like, I'll trade you all of my picks for him.
Yeah, I absolutely want to take Genty as well. But I was more talking about like Omarion Hampton. He got taken by the Chargers. So you've got Najee there. How is he going to fit in there? Like, it seems like a lot of these other running backs, and we talked about this last week when we didn't bring that podcast episode out. But I mean, you've only got a couple real bell cows left in the league. You've got Saquon, you've got Genty, you've got Henry to a lesser degree, I guess. There's somebody I'm missing. Oh, the kid from Green Bay.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
And I think...
Who's Minnesota's guy?
Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
If
When
he's
he played.
healthy.
Yeah, when he's healthy.
And then you've got the rare occurrences where you have two hitters at once. So, like the Lions, you've got Gibbs and Montgomery.
Sonic and Knuckles, baby.
Yep, you've got them. I guess to a lesser degree, you still have... I don't even know if I want to bring this guy up, but Kamara, would you include Kamara in there? Just for fantasy relevancy.
Yeah, he still gets his points, and he gets most of them
Yeah.
from receptions. I mean, he's getting older. He doesn't have the old quick out, I could, dance past you kind of thing. He's still fantasy relevant. He's not just a two-headed monster like he was, though. But speaking of two-headed monsters, someone that replicates the Reliance and doing it fairly well is kind of the whole Buck situation with White and Bucky Irving.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
did see Bucky Irving kind of explode doing both, not only on the ground but through the air. But Rashad White coming in is not a bad option for him to kind of like, hey, have a breather. Here's a change of back kind of thing, and then you put in an explosive Bucky Irving. So, I
I
mean,
I
this,
I think with the Omarion Hampton though, circling back to that, I think that's what it's going to be right there, Fish. That's the good point to bring up. I think it's going to be Najee. Omarion's going to get touches when Najee gets tired because he's still going to have, and he's going to learn from Najee because Najee runs like, he's going to die if he doesn't. I don't really know how to put it. He runs
well,
hard.
Marion, right after he's done singing, God damn it, I made this joke last week and we just didn't air it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it again, right? After Marion's done singing, he's going ahead and touch the rock. Look at Najee Harris, right? And the Chargers have been known to do this with their running backs, right? They love pass catching, running the rock ability players, right? That's all they've had for the last 20, 30 years, right?
This is the
So they get a
Sproles
Marion.
days.
Yeah, right. The the height stature is just a smidge different. But uh, you're right, though. I mean, he ran the rock and was a lethal pass catcher. Um, Same thing with all the other running backs that have been in place for them. So you get a Najee Harris who had success in Pittsburgh, right? Was never a flashy guy. You never really see him pop off for 200 yards and 15 touchdowns or whatever it may be. He played a Le'Veon Bell style where he would run behind the lineman, wait a second, then hit the hole, right? He didn't have that breakaway speed like a lot of these young guys do. He never really had that in Bama when he played. He was a big physical back. Didn't really pan out the Steelers. Didn't probably want to pick up his fifth year option. Whatever. He goes to the Chargers. Chargers love these backs, so they draft a Marion, who stature wise is somewhat similar. And correct me if I'm wrong. When he played in college, had the same kind of success. Could run the rock, was very lethal on the ground, and also catch the ball out of the backfield and still tear it up.
Yep.
So
It says that in his analysis. He catches passes in stride and is a big play threat after the catch.
Yeah.
didn't have to read it. I didn't read it. I just I just know
I
it.
knew it.
So what they're gonna do is they're gonna have Najee. This is his last hope to really start in the NFL to be a true traditional back, right? They'll let him run with it. They'll let him teach Omarion out of the booth when they're done singing. They'll teach Omarion, okay, and develop him. He'll sit, like Zoltowski said, he'll get plays here and there if they're getting blown out or winning or whatever it may be. Situational plays, they'll get him in. And we've said this how many times, guys? There's no need to rush your star players. We've seen this. Gent might be another thing we talk about. You rushed him in. You don't have shit guarding him. So everybody's going to stack the line. You got no quarterback. You got no receivers. Next thing you know, this all-star crazy athlete in college can't do shit in the NFL because you don't have any supporting cast. So let Omarion sit behind Najee, learn and develop the NFL because it is two different games from college to NFL. Transition is nuts. Let him do his thing. Let him get comfortable with it. Get his feet wet and then dry him off. Get his feet wet, dry him off a little bit. Don't throw him into the pool. It doesn't work 99% of the time. Okay, so I think it's an incredible move by the Chargers to pick him up and get Najee, knowing that Najee is desperate enough to take that year option of this is make or break it, and then develop the young guy. That's what they should do. It's how it should happen. Now I could be wrong. It might not happen that way. Who knows? But I don't know.
No, I'm with you there. I'm not denying it's a smart move by the Chargers. I'm just more talking about like fantasy implications.
I think I think he'll do fine. He may end up. I think Najee will start obviously the first 6-7 games. I mean, it's a long season. Start the first 6-7 games. I'm not saying you get him 1-1, 1-2 overall in your rookie drafts, right? Or even in a redraft. You're not going to pick him in rounds 1 through 7. But that 8th through later rounds, people might be sleeping on him. Same thing with rookie draft. Swing around, get him in second. If you're doing a dynasty, snag him. He'll play. He might not play right away in your first 1 to 7 games. But if Najee doesn't pan out and they need a change of pace, someone's got to be that call. They got him. And guess what? He's going to be hungry to take that starting role. Why wouldn't you? But he's had 1 to 7 weeks to develop and understand how the NFL works and then go ahead and take the role from there. So, fantasy implications, you're going to be sitting on him for a little bit. First 7-8 weeks. Don't be prepared to throw him in. He'll get his feet wet. He might pop off for a touchdown. Long run, he'll look great. Don't sit on him until you get the word that they're starting him over Najee. Don't touch him. I think fantasy implication wise, I think you're fine. I think it's a great sleeper pick. I like a good sleeper pick, and I think he would be one. That's it.
Yeah, it seems like the players I'm most excited about coming out of the draft for fantasy football purposes, other than Genty, they're all receivers. Like, I'm excited for Tatori McMillan.
Yes.
I'm excited for who's the kid that the Packers took? Matthew Golden. I'm excited for him. I'm worried about Emeka Buka. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that the Buccaneers drafted him so early, I know we talked about this last week. We didn't air the podcast, but there's a lot of people to catch the ball there. Now, I know Chris Godwin's coming back from an injury. Mike Evans is getting up there, but they still have that Jaden McMillan kid, and he was very good last year. So,
but I think he's also in that same vein of, like, you've got these two great receivers, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Right.
This guy's talented. Let him learn behind these guys. I've thought about this after we talked about it. It is like maybe taking him round 1. I mean, if you really, really wanted him, but you've got two guys that are absolute studs. I mean, didn't Mike Evans just break the record for most consecutive 1,000-yard receiving yard seasons? Yeah. Let him learn behind this guy. And then when he eventually hangs it up, now, he gets hurt, or Godwin gets hurt. Boom, he comes right in.
Or Godwin doesn't bounce back as they thought that they would, which
exactly.
That is
now they've got this guy who's shown that he can already catch the ball extremely well. Can make plays after the catch. He's gonna fit right in. He'll do well.
So I do want to defer one thing to you, Zoltowski.
Yeah, go for it.
You're a Michigan fan.
I am a Michigan fan.
Your offensive coordinator last year was Ben Johnson. What is your temperature on Colston Loveland going into this year?
I like Colston. I think it's just another weapon for Caleb, both in a blocking sense and a pass catching sense. That's what the Bears struggled with a lot last year, was giving him time. They did pick up a tackle in the second round as well, and then another one in the 6th. I think he's gonna do really well, especially with the Cole Komet over there. Like I said, they like to run the two. They're gonna run the 2 tight ends now. I think he's a good pick in fantasy for the rookie draft. Don't take him super early. You never take tight ends super early unless you're me or Liz. Liz took a tight end like round 2. But if he's still hanging around in the 4th or the 5th, or however many rounds you do it, I'm taking him because he can catch the ball well. He can run after the catch. He blocks extremely well. I think he's gonna see a lot of play time right off the rip there, especially because they take him 110, 10th round or 10th pick overall. I like him a lot. I loved watching him in college. He was a pivotal part of the championship 23-24 season. He didn't play a lot at the end of last year because he got hurt, but I think he'll do really, really well.
Well, they obviously believe in the kid. They drafted him top 10.
Yeah,
did they have the 10th pick?
I think a big part of that, why they drafted him, is because he can also
block.
Run block. He can block. He can give, even if it's we need to just we're gonna send Rome and whoever else they have over there, or even Cole's going to get the look this time. They're gonna because Caleb's accurate. He had I think he was 66% accuracy last year. He had a good year. He just got sacked a ton because he didn't have time to throw the ball. With that extra body on the line, he can run block, he can pass block. Maybe he blocks for a second, pancakes the guy, and then breaks off on a route.
Be a good chip and release guy.
Yeah, chip and release, or blow him off his ass and then release, and he's open. I like it. I think it's a good pick. I hate that they got him because it's in our division, but I do like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I am excited for our next topic. We'll have a lot more fantasy time to talk about fantasy before that even comes up. But I was just kind of going off first impressions. Oh, the last one I wanted to talk about. Tyrone Tracy was such a stud last year, and it was because he was the only running back in New York. I mean, Devin Singletary was there, but he was not there at the same time. So Cam Scatterbo, they took him there, and we all know the highlights of Cam Scatterbo. We've seen those. Do you guys think that that's going to kind of impact Tyrone Tracy's role at all?
No.
Is he going to be worried?
It's the same situation we just talked about. He's gonna get in there when Tyrone Tracy gets tired. But I think it's a good benefit too, though, because he can also catch if they need an extra route runner out there to maybe get Malik open. He can run routes very well. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. I don't think it's going to impact him too much. But I think Scatterbo is going to have a good time at New York. And again, they might put his, he's 5'10", 219, but I mean, like you said, we watched his highlights. He's hard to take down.
Yeah.
He can probably run. He can probably pass block very well too.
Definitely two different types of running backs.
Look at the player they're comparing him, right? The pro day, James Conner. James Conner is a bruiser back. Cam Scatterbo will be a bruiser back. He'll be the guy that, okay, cool. Early on in the game, great. Middle of the game, cool. You go ahead and run the first two balls. Let 15 linemen try and tackle you and eventually bring you down. Okay, Colin Tracy, let's do a quick little out route. And then he's got fresh legs. The linemen are breathing through their mouths. I think it's a great pick for them. Again, it kind of I don't think he's going to be the next Saquon or the next James Conner. I don't think that. I think the NFL is moving away from, and we've talked about this, right? The NFL is moving away from the traditional bell cow back, right? They realize that the shelf life of a running back in their prime is probably 5 years if they don't get hurt. But if they get a two-headed monster and they cut, Derrick Henry's numbers are insane. He shouldn't be playing any longer. He should barely be walking with the amount of, carries that he's had in college and in the NFL. But if you get a two-headed monster like hello, talking here, hey, can you do that? Gee whiz, man. But if you get a two-headed monster like a David Montgomery who can bruise them, take a breather, hang out for a minute, and then you throw in a Jahmyr Gibbs, the shelf life of both of them goes up by 3-4 years, right? Carrying in the injury. So Cam Scatterbo is not going to be, and the fantasy implications, right, is not going to be your go-to, I'm going to draft him in the first round kind of guy. You're going to keep him. He'll be around if Tracy gets hurt, but he's going to be that bruiser back like he was in college. Extremely tough to bring down. The guy runs hard, right? He doesn't have the blazing speed, but he runs hard. So they'll use him for the first couple downs and then bring in Tracy. Tracy will still get his 10 to 15 carries per game, but Cam Scatterbo wouldn't surprise me if he got 10 per game. Just to have that bruising back ability, and then pass blocking, pass blocking ability as well. If he's tough to bring down, he's got to be tough to, keep somebody up there. So, I think it's a great pick by them. I don't think it's going to be crazy huge implications. We'll shave a little bit off of Tracy's carries and yardage and such, but nothing too crazy unless something bad happens with Tracy. Kind of like a Zamir White where he pops off, and then we're like, all right, sick. He's going to lead the back, and then averages a yard per carry. The hell with that guy. So it's going to be interesting.
I had such high hopes for Zamir White and just.
Yeah, you and me both, brother. You and me
last
both.
Year.
Yeah, it's awful.
But let's talk about. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a janty situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
If Zamir has a line, does he run well? I don't know. So we'll talk way more when we get closer to the NFL.
Yep.
But it's just something kind of. I know people are starting to do drafts now in the next couple months. Just be prepared. Just do your research, understand who you're drafting and where they're going. Might not all be home run hitters. You get a guy in the third who has a perfect situation, like the Bucks receiver, might work out. Might work out better than a Janty. We don't know.
And we'll have our episode. What did we call that last year? The dudes we like episode.
Dudes we like, yeah.
Going into next season, so yeah, we'll have that coming up too. So, all right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Shedeur. So Shedeur, he was, famously rumored to be a top 5 pick for a very long time. Since his first season at Colorado. Now, he wasn't really getting the shine at Jackson State, but it's because it was Jackson State. No, he did go to Colorado. Prime went to Colorado. Travis Hunter went to Colorado. There was a lot. Let's just put it on the table. There's a lot of drama with Shedeur. There's a lot of baggage with Shedeur. There's a lot of what people call cockiness with the whole Sanders family. But I don't know, man. Like, I've been thinking more about it, and don't get me wrong, I'm thrilled we got him in the 5th. Like, I'm very happy we got him in the 5th. We didn't spend high draft capital on him. If he works out, great. If he doesn't, that's fine too, because we got him in the 5th. But do you guys think that there's, and I'm not talking conspiracies here, I'm not talking any of that, the slide of Shedeur Sanders, do you think that the NFL was trying to send some sort of message to him, his dad? I mean, a lot of people have been saying that. A lot of talking heads have been saying that. Damian Woody said something about that on ESPN about the NFL was sending a message to the Sanders family, sending a message to the rest of the families that are, having second-generation players come out that have had prominent fathers come out in the league. So I don't know, man. Like, you look at Shedeur's tape, he's very good. I mean, we already talked about it once. 74% completion percentage. I don't care where you play, what the competition is. I mean, that's amazing no matter what. So I don't know where. Maybe I'm buying in. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you're glazing right now.
You are drinking that Kool-Aid.
Yeah, because last week was a different mindset for you. Look, all I'm saying is that if you draft him in the first round or second round, which is where he was going to go projected wise, right? This is a whole different conversation, right? Now the Browns feel the implication to then start him. Now you have the opportunity letting him slide in the 5th. Like you said, there's no draft loss capital for this, right? It's honestly, it's a win-win for you guys, right? You take a Shedeur, everyone buys a billion jerseys. So you guys got more money. Congrats. Then you get the Dion and all that other stuff. But if he pans out, great. We were talking about this earlier in the show. Here's the high reward. Now he's saying, okay, great. Yeah, I was a little cocky, whatever it may be. Now I got 1,000 people in front of me that shouldn't have been drafted. I'm going to go ahead and prove him wrong. And if he proves him wrong, yeah, he's a very accurate quarterback. I don't think the NFL was sending a message. I think his stats proved otherwise. Top 25 teams that they played against, they won one game. Or was it none? They didn't make any bowl appearances. I'd never heard that. So two players get their jerseys retired in a college place without winning shit. It's like, hey, I'm gonna. I played LSO baseball, which is a very, very low ranked. I'm gonna go ahead and email them tomorrow and say, hey, number 3, can you retire it because I played with you guys for a couple of years? What? What is that? There's no point. I don't think it's a. And look, there's going to be cocky kids in and out. We saw all these young guys with all the NIL money that they have now. Everybody's all jeweled out, whatever it may be. I think the learning lesson will be coming from the NFL players. we know that a lot of those guys, the old G's, the OGs, the old heads, they don't like cocky players, and they're very, very quick to shut them up. You're telling me Max Crosby would be like, "Oh yeah, dude, no, it's cool. Keep talking your shit." He's gonna fucking lay into the guy, and then piss on his grave. That's what's gonna happen. It's a lot of these guys don't like the cockiness. I think on the field they'll settle that. Quarterback or regardless, you can't run your mouth in the locker room. Somebody's gonna say something. I think the NFL team saw the stats, like, yeah, really good accurate passes. What's the percentage of his throws were quick slants or little rollouts? Outside of the highlights, we see him throwing deep. I look at those. There's no winning. We played big players, right? Players that are getting drafted alongside you. We played against those players and didn't win shit. We didn't win any Pro Bowls. Why am I drafting you? Because your daddy is Dion? Prove me wrong. Which this is a perfect thing for the Browns to be like, oh yeah, we'll swoop and get you in the fifth. We'll pay you $400,000 to see if you're worth it, and if you're not, great, we'll cut you. Have fun with that. Opposed from drafting him in the first round, paying him $30 million for the next 4 years, and going, fuck, he is ass, and we have to start him now.
Right.
Oh shit. So
I think they learned from signing a quarterback to a massive deal and then it not panning out at all. I think they finally picked up on that.
Or even look at this. We'll test it real quick. Even look at this, right? Johnny Manziel talked all kinds of shit in college and in the pros, and now he's got a coke problem and he's off on Texas. How well did that pan out for you guys?
No,
I'm just saying that.
Yeah. No.
You're not wrong.
It's a perfect situation for you guys. Yeah. Honestly, it's perfect.
And Johnny Manziel won. He won in college. I mean, he won Heisman as a freshman, did he not?
He was that coke. Heisman. I don't know if he was a freshman, but
yeah, he was on coke.
Yeah,
that'll do it.
I watched the Netflix documentary, and he didn't even want to play football anymore. I think that was the biggest thing for him is he just wanted to party. But
yeah,
100%.
He also was also good at football. I think the biggest thing, honestly, I think it's good that it happened because Shadur's got this ego because his dad is Dion, and Dion needs to step back and let him be Shador and not Dion's kid. Like, yeah, it's great, cool. My dad played in the pros; he was really good. Yeah, I also played baseball; I was really good. But I'm here to do my own thing. I'm not even playing the same position. Because I remember seeing he's like, yeah, I'm gonna meet with the Browns officials. We're gonna go meet with them. No, your son needs to do this. He needs to be the one. Be like, hey, this is why. Yeah, go ahead, Fish.
No, I'm sorry. That you brought up an excellent point, right? He didn't have an agent, right? He never signed an agent.
No, he did not. That's where the phone number thing came from.
This is also a huge, all right.
Which still isn't okay that happened, but
no, that's horrible.
No, 100%.
That's awful.
But it also happened to Syracuse guy, our quarterback.
No,
he got prank. Yeah, he got prank called 5 times now. But
there's a lot of players that get prank called. The Sanders family, I think that they got that specific phone and phone number for the draft.
They did,
because you have to release that phone number to every team, or it's like the NFL list
Falcons coordinator's kid or something.
The Falcons defensive coordinator's son.
Yeah, he took it off the iPad. And called him, which they got fined. The team got fined, and then the coach got fined. I think the team got fined $250,000. He got fined $100K.
Yeah,
which
my
should happen.
If that would happen,
he'd be getting Arthur'd be getting his ass whooped.
My kids still run gassers. And the draft just ended, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, he's still running gassers.
Gassers and bear crawls, baby. Down and back.
If I had a son and he's not born yet, he'd be 16 when he gets his license. He'd still be driving cars from the 90s. Like, there's no way I'm buying you anything. Dad, can you buy me a car? Yeah, make up that $100K first.
But to bring it back to what I was talking about, I think, too, though, that this is probably the best thing that could happen to Shador. Because now you're on a team that drafted another quarterback before you in the same draft class when you were projected to go, top 5 or whatever, and Mel Kiper is still wiping his mouth off.
You mean his tears, right? You mean his tears?
A little bit of both. Oh. The tears are the lube. But now you've got this big chip on your shoulder. Now you've got not only him technically ahead of you. You've got these two, technically 3, because Deshaun's still up in the air. other guys.
On the roster.
He's got to make the team first. He's still got to make even the practice squad.
There's 5
Watch
guys.
out for
There's 5
small hands
quarterbacks.
Pickett. Kenny Pickett coming from
5 quarterbacks on the roster.
Yeah, he's got to make that roster. He's got to prove that, hey, I deserve to be here now. And hey, it doesn't matter what Deion says. Deion, don't get me wrong, Deion was a great football player. He was a great baseball player. He can be as cocky as he wants because he did what he said. Shiloh didn't do. Shiloh didn't do anything either. He went undrafted to the Bucks, but
no, he got drafted.
Didn't do anything. We talked about this. I think they played at JMC, and then he transferred to Colorado his last year this year when his dad went and coached
Jackson State.
Yeah, Jackson State. Sorry, JMC was the one that did really, really well. People were like, "Oh, they can't be in the playoffs because the whole changing leagues or whatever."
Right.
But he didn't win anything. Why? They retired his jersey because, him and his dad and the Sanders family brought all that attention to Colorado. You know how much money that college made off of Coach Prime and his 2 sons going there, and then Travis Hunter as well.
They're paying all that money back into Deion because he signed a 5-year $1 billion contract.
Yeah, but I mean, still, they're gonna make even the coverage is still gonna be there. They had a ton of games on national TV. Travis Hunter, I think, was a cover athlete for college football. Like, the attention's there, and that's great for them. They didn't win anything. Where's your trophies at? You didn't win. You didn't even win your conference. You didn't make it to the playoffs. I think you barely had a winning season.
No, they had great seasons while they were there.
I hope that he balls the hell out and proves everyone else wrong. That'd be great for you guys. You guys need a fucking quarterback. You've needed a quarterback for years now.
Yeah.
This old tune is getting old. Get a good quarterback.
It's like I said. I hope it works out. I'd love to see him succeed. Because then you can back up all the shit you've been talking, and you can say, "Fuck you guys. Here's what you get for not taking me." And then when your rookie contract's up, go get that bag, and show that you could do it. But the best thing that could have happened to him was a slide. Now he's got a chip on his shoulder. Now he's got a fire under his ass. Now he's like, oh, shit, maybe I'm not as good as I thought. I've seen videos where he's already out in Cleveland training.
Yeah.
Good for him. That's awesome. Do it.
He's already there. I just think it would be the most Browns thing in the world for him to become, amazing at the position. Like top 2 at the position, just be great. And it would be funny because the Browns didn't even draft him as the first quarterback that they drafted this year.
No, which, hey, and I think they saw that too. Maybe, I don't know, they're thinking, hey, we already got a quarterback. Shedur's pissed. He's supposed to go super high. He's dirt fucking cheap. Now he's got this fire under his ass. Let's draft him. Now he's got even more of a fire. It's like, oh, we drafted someone else before you. What are you going to do? You're going to be our practice squad quarterback. We're going to sit you on the bench. You're not going to see the field.
It's going to be interesting.
Until you show us you can. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I really am.
I am too. I've been very wishy-washy on this whole thing. You guys know that. I've been
thinking about switching fan bases.
No, God.
Yeah, 100%. You should have heard him last week. He was dogging the shit out of this guy. Now he's like, oh, I understand what Mel Kiper was saying. I love him.
No, I didn't want to draft him early. I didn't want to draft him early.
I will say
we were at that party and the second round was about to kick off, and I was like, here comes Shedeur, pick 33.
You said
great.
That at the end of the draft watch party too.
That's right.
It's on stream. The VOD's there. There's proof. You're like, God, we're gonna take Shedeur tomorrow. And you sounded pissed about it.
But here we are.
No, here.
Yeah. The glazing begins.
So we'll see.
You better get ready for the glazing if he turns out great.
Yeah, he'll turn out great, and then you won't be able to throw anybody because your receivers are awful, your running backs are. Something will happen, or Myles Garrett says, "Actually, I don't really want the money," and then leaves.
Keep Myles' name out of your mouth.
All right, Will Smith, calm down there.
But no, that's my take on it. I know it went a little long, but I think I've been thinking about it for a while, and the biggest thing there, again, the takeaway is Deion needs to step back. Let him sign an agent. Let him do his own thing.
Yeah. No,
That's where the drama is. I remember seeing a tweet. Someone tweeted at Deion. He's like, "My son's going to be a top 4 or top 5 pick. What's your kid doing?" It wasn't a top 5 pick.
Oh, top 5 rounds.
There's only 7. But, you know, and the thing about him wanting to meet, I mean, just like, dude, stop trying to live through your kid. You had your time. It's his time now.
Yeah.
Watch from the sidelines and be proud. Go coach Colorado.
That's what he's doing now.
He's
He's even said, he's like, I'm excited to be a coach and not have to be a coach and a dad at the same time.
Damn.
So he's said he's excited for his next chapter too. So yeah, if
maybe Shiloh will come out of the woodwork too, because I remember him saying, "Oh, if they're doing this to him, what are they going to do to me?"
Right? Yeah, Shiloh did say that. Yeah, but if Shador ends up being good, that'll be pretty sweet. You guys know what else is pretty sweet?
Baked goods.
Our draft, baby, baked goods. Fish got it. Let's go.
So hungry.
All right, I'm gonna do the randomizer. You boys ready?
No.
Ready, dude. Gooder magooder.
Fish is first.
Yes, sir. Naturally.
Zoltowski, you're second.
Oh.
And
Right in
I'm
the middle.
bringing up the rear.
The big
So,
bear.
my first pick, right? It's not going to be a sweep. Because I'm thinking baked goods as general. Anything that we could bake, right? I'll tell you what. Whenever she decides to watch the video in 6 to 12 weeks, hopefully I get a nice text or, "Hey, thanks for mentioning that." I don't know what Andy's doing with the bread that she bakes, but it is actually fucking cocaine. It is restaurant quality bread. Zoltowski, the bread that we had the other day,
Yeah.
her bread shits on that bread.
Oh my
I
god.
don't
dude.
know. I don't
Why
know
have
what.
I not had any of this bread then?
Because it doesn't make it a day. Because I eat it.
I saved you some cheesecake. You need to save me some bread.
Yeah, I'll get right on it. It is the best bread that I've had. I'm not just like hyping her up. It is genuinely fucking incredible.
He's just
I don't
trying
know.
to get brownie points. But
I mean, maybe, but like not even. It is genuinely insane bread. The way that it crisps, the way that you could toast it is nuts. Very, very impressive. That's got to be my 1-1. I'd rather have that than anything else on my own little section here that I have here. It's just incredible.
respect it. Love a good. What kind of bread is it though?
I mean, she does. I don't like sourdough. I'm not a big sourdough person.
Okay.
So she does like a French loaf or just sandwich bread or anything like that. And she's been adding, I think one time she did like sesame seeds on top or like everything bagel seasoning on top. Then she like
Okay.
incorporates some cheese into it sometimes. I mean, it's just like her family comes over and they're like, "Oh, did you make bread?" Like my family comes over like, "Oh, holy shit, the bread's here." Like it's genuine. And you know us, we know good bread, right? We grew up on the East Coast. We know good shit. That's good shit.
I just
When you watch this, make a loaf. That's good shit. That's good stuff.
I want a loaf
man.
now.
Holy
I'll pay you
shit.
for the ingredients. I'll pay you for the bread.
so
But I'm
it's,
gonna take my pick.
it's a French
Go,
loaf
no, go,
bread.
go.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, it's just like a regular loaf. It's nothing crazy.
So should I just put bread in the graphic? Oh, I need to
Put
search her.
Andy's bread. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
Andy's bread.
Andy's bread. People, when she reads it in the next 12 years, she'll see it.
I did just put in our group chat that she has to bring bread
saw
to
that.
the next friend event.
I saw that. But I got the second pick. You said, right?
I think so. That's
pick
how it
two.
happens.
Look, all right. I'm also gonna go with a form of bread,
Love it.
but this one is more geared towards people. People think it's breakfast, but I think you can eat these at any time of the day. You can eat
You're
them
gonna
cold.
take
You
my
can eat
pick.
them room temperature. You can eat them toasted. They go well with everything. I'm gonna go with a good bagel, specifically if I can have my pick, like an Asiago cheese bagel.
It's just
Toast.
last.
Listen, toast the bagel. You make a sandwich, ham and cheese sandwich on it. Peanut butter and jelly bagel, put Nutella on it. Cream cheese and salmon on a bagel. Endless possibilities of what you can do with the bagel.
No,
Good.
I love that. Everything bagels are the best thing in the world.
A little too messy because with poppy seeds get fucking everywhere.
Just eat over
Yeah.
your
3
plate,
weeks
you
later.
animal.
Now
Even
I get them in my
they-
teeth, man.
They bounce off the plate. Like I go pick it up and ping, 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 ping.
That's bad.
I'm telling you,
That's
Asiago cheese. Look, just go to Panera,
There
get
we
an
go.
Asiago cheese bagel, or one of their
Yeah.
bagel sandwiches,
Yeah.
or take it home when
Yeah.
it's toasted and put what type of cheese, mayo, and then whatever fucking meat you want on there. That'd be the best sandwich you ever had for lunch in your life.
I just
So
like
good.
it's just sesame seed bagel with a shit ton of cream cheese.
Yep.
Have the
What
cream
kind of
cheese
cream
oozing
cheese?
at. I'm a classic, guys. Give me classic.
Okay. Yeah.
But have it oozing out the sides, and then I can scoop it. I like to oversaturate.
That's
The
those
ratio
East Coast
of
bagels right
cream
there.
cheese. Yeah, the ratio of the cream cheese to bagel.
So
it better be thick.
Would
you
you
know?
say that the cream cheese should be like when the bagel's whole, it should take up? Hang on, I can't. So the bagel's this big.
It should be about. It should be half. Yeah, it should be half.
Okay, I can respect that.
Half, because
Fucking
when I
cream cheese.
mash it down and it oozes out, then I can break pieces off and then scoop it and eat it. Scoop and eat, and then eat this. You know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
So you want the bagel to be impossible to eat while you're driving? Is what you're saying?
Oh, I can eat it. I mean, my mouth
It's
is fairly big. I mean, I'll make it work. Trust me, I'll make it work. Yeah,
It's like an acquired art.
it really is.
All right,
Like nature show.
all right, Nutter, you're up.
This is going to be a very basic answer,
There we go.
but for baked goods, the first thing that pops in my mind is chocolate chip cookies, and I have to take chocolate chip cookies right now. They're the all-American. You know,
They got to be soft.
You go to grandma's
be-
house. What are you going to get? Chocolate chip cookies, fresh out of the oven.
My grandma's house is a little different.
My grandma made me burnt double chocolate chip cookies one time that made me sick. So I've always had.
She was trying to kill you.
Well,
for
your
sure.
grandma's sound weird, so there we go.
Well, both mine are gone. So
Yikes, dude. Yikes, oof.
Damn.
Oof.
R.I.P.
hey, you know what? Get it on the turn too.
Yep.
I do get it on the turn, and I'm gonna go with something that's kind of in the same vein there.
Vein, huh?
But these are for breakfast.
Oh, okay.
These are for breakfast, so you know you make a batch of these. They have a ton of different flavors out there. You got banana nut, you got blueberry, you got chocolate chip. I'm going with a muffin, boys.
That's a good pick.
Nothing better than a
Good
muffin. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
You get a muffin from a real bakery,
Yep.
and I am a content large man. So going with a muffin.
What?
A muffin.
Large?
Hey, you gotta pick.
No way.
You gotta put the Asiago cheese bagel for me. That's my pick.
Oh, the Asiago cheese?
Yes.
Yeah, before he freaks out, put the
I need you
Asiago
to
in there,
pick
please.
A muffin.
All right, fine. I'm going blueberry then.
Okay. In your respect.
Son of a bitch. Yep. God damn it.
All right. I'm up. 2-2. Give me a lemon tart.
What'd you
Great
say to me?
dessert.
He definitely calls you something, that's for sure.
Yeah, tart. A lemon tart.
What decade is it?
You know, like we were
The 30s.
I can't remember why we were over at Dalton now because it was something, but they had these lemon cheesecake tarts from Costco or wherever they were from, and I ate about like 30 of those things. Sweet, tangy, just a little bit of crisp. It's like a mini cheesecake almost, a mini pie.
Little bit of a crisp.
Were they arguing
You know,
over him?
you know what I'm talking about. This guy
Little
right
bit.
up
That's
here.
great. Yeah, it's me. Right there. Right here.
Right up there.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
He moved everything around, so I'm all
Yes,
disappointed. 'cause
I
I'm looking
don't
at
know
this-
where I'm at.
I'm looking at these baked goods and I'm getting really hungry.
I knew
But yeah,
this.
give me a lemon tart.
I knew this would be a good draft for us. Fish, you got a pick and then a turn.
Okay, I'm gonna go with something that I grew up on. My grandmother never made the cookies, but she would always have a bunch of French treats. She's French, so she would always have a bunch of French treats. We always have Italian cookies and different little snack desserts that we'd have there. But me and Pops can't get around how good these goddamn things are. They're called palmiers. They're also called pig ears. It's a French pastry, puff pastry. Essentially, it's very thin and flaky. It's in the shape of, I guess, an ear, but it's in shape of
yeah,
a
those are
butterfly with sugar sprinkled on top. You go to Twin Dragon, that shit's crack. It is unreal. We get 12 on a plate, and then we take 12 more home in our pockets. They are so good.
What are they called?
Palmier, PA. Just put pig ear. Nah, Palmier.
I see it. I got it.
You see what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
Those look really good.
We call them pig ears. They're shaped like butterflies, but yeah, they're insanely good. It's a simple treat, but that was always around the house when we go visit
Those look
dad's
good.
mom and dad. I mean, they were great. They were great. And then my flip side, I'm gonna go with something that is more finger food, a little appetizer from the Greek region. I'm gonna go with spanakopita.
Are you just trying to
Brother, spell that. Brother, spell that. Yes, sir.
SPANAKOPITA.
Yeah, you're close. Missed two.
SPANAKOP.
I don't know what you said to me, but I don't know if you can say that on live. Brother, I don't know.
ITA.
Spanakopita.
Yes,
all right.
Yeah, delicious.
Those days,
Delicious.
again,
I've had
it's a light, flaky puff pastry, but it's filled with spinach and feta cheese. I mean, my God! When we used to have them at the house when I lived back at home, Mom would make like, I don't know, 20 or 30 of them. They would be gone. It's a smorgasbord. It's a great thing because you don't feel gross. They're not filled with grease, and you just take one and you just boop, pop it in your mouth. That's it. And then you do that 25 times. You're like, okay, I need to reevaluate some shit. So, spanakopita. It is the Greeks did incredibly well with that.
Good, I've had it before. It's very, very good.
Thanks, O'Palsy, for the verification.
I think we're learning that we need to have a group bake-off.
Listen.
Oh, I don't bake.
But you eat.
I'll be a judge. I
would
be a judge. Now she'll make you do it. Remember?
No, she can bake. She loves baking. Absolutely loves it.
You better pick something she makes.
Listen, this one it's on there. Someone might steal it, but I gotta go with this for my third because I'll get them from Speedway. They're not as good as getting it fresh from a bakery. When we were out in Iowa, a Dutch bakery, like immigrated, like straight from Holland. Give me a Danish. Give me a cherry Danish.
Yep. When they do it right, they do it right.
I just found out that I can get them shipped to my house, and it's a problem.
Through Goldbelly?
No, just through their website. It's called Yarzma Bakery out there. It's in Pella, Iowa. I was there for training.
Yeah, why don't you text me that?
Shout out, free ad.
Free ad. Yarzma, sponsor us. Send me I didn't try the Dutch letters when I was out there. I heard they're really good, but they were all the people from Pella and Oskaloosa, the area. That's like we're close to Pella. We're talking about you got to go here when you're out there. We went at like 5 a.m. because Arthur had a blowout, and we're like, we're up. Might as well just go. They're open. Went and got coffee, and hit the bakery up, and it was a great decision.
That sounds like a great decision.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix our spelling here because this stupid program just tries to autocorrect it every time.
I love spinach too. Spinach is so good.
Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorites.
I got 2 more here. I'm trying to figure out what I want to pick. So, Mother's Day is coming up. And my mom, she's no longer with us, but she used to love a certain type of cake. And I think I'm the only other person that loves this cake as much as she does. And I'm going to get I'm not going to win any votes with this one. I'm telling you that right now. But I'm going to take carrot cake.
You win my dad's vote. I hate carrot cake.
A good carrot cake with good cream cheese icing, man, that stuff is so good. So I'm taking a carrot cake.
But I can respect it if it's
It is.
It's yours. Not a fan? I don't know. Never had your mom's, unfortunately. Unless you got the recipe. Probably won't be as good.
Oh, I'm not saying
definitely.
she made it. I'm just saying she got it. She got it places.
Oh.
She definitely didn't make it, but she didn't have the patience for that. And on my last pick, I feel like I've taken 3 sweet items, so probably need to give the teeth a break and take something that's not sweet, even though these can be sweet, I guess, if you really want them to.
What?
I'm gonna go with a croissant.
Yeah. Pick.
I'm gonna go with a croissant.
Pretty good pick.
So.
I need to eat like 12 croissants to feel somewhat full.
Yeah. Or it's got to be like filled like I'm making pigs in a blanket. Croissants.
I love croissant breakfast sandwiches. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Let me guess. You go to Burger King.
No.
Croissant sandwich.
No, I'm not getting Burger King croissants.
Don't knock on BK.
Don't knock on
Don't knock on
croissant
BK.
sandwiches. 2 for $5, man. It's a great deal in this economy.
There's a little breakfast shop near us, and like, I'm kind of sad that we're going to be moving away from it, but they make the best like breakfast sandwiches out there. It's called Daily Grind and Slice. I'll just drop the name. So if you're ever near Fairfield, Ohio, Daily Grind and Slice, they have the best croissant breakfast sandwiches out there. And they're like weird shaped croissants too. They're like long, skinny croissants.
Yeah, I bet.
So
You like that one?
They're super good. I hate you. I hate you so much. You're the worst type of person in the world.
Whatever you're into,
All right.
man. It's cool.
Mine's
got
gonna
it.
be real specific too.
Oh,
Fish
here
has
we
had a
go.
specific one. You've had a specific one, and I still think about these, and I wish she would make them again. But I don't know why she made them. But she was working at Kroger at the time. Liz was. She made these peanut butter cupcakes from scratch, and made the frosting too. They were crack. They were
Peanut butter
They were crack.
cupcakes?
Yeah, they were so good.
Why didn't she
On the
make any?
frosting.
That sounds good.
I didn't
Texture.
know she liked. She's probably
Bake
asleep,
off.
isn't she?
We're
They'll
doing a
wake up
bake
soon
off.
with, like, God.
How are we gonna do
I'm
a
in.
bake off when we got 3 different genres of baking?
I don't know, dude.
Fair
Why don't we
enough.
come
Oh,
up with
Or
rules off the pod?
Hey, we say it's a bake off, and it's really just so we can stuff our fat ass faces full of baked goods.
Why are you
Don't we
shooting?
normally
Why are
do
you
that?
shooting everything down already? Who are you, Stamper?
I'm just who? Who is it?
He's not gonna listen to this.
Absolutely not.
I never know, he might.
I doubt it.
I hope he does. He'll
I
chuckle
doubt
at that, or his head will turn red from rage. So either one.
A little bit of both.
Yep.
Fish,
They'll
you
be
got,
on
It's an
Discord.
angry laugh.
you got our last pick. Pick your Spanakoppadupa Lapidus or whatever the fuck you want to pick.
You better ease up there, Captain.
Listen, if you've never had it, you need to try it.
It's never had it.
Fucking good.
Never had it.
I had to look
So
it.
good.
Read it again.
It's so good.
So good. But I think Ma, to round it out, Ma does a very simple. I like cake, right? I like sweets. She does a very simple vanilla cake with chocolate icing. Half the cake's gone and 12 gallons of milk as well. It's just if you can't tell, I'm just a very simplistic guy when it comes to foods and stuff. I don't need, the au jus or the crazy fancy vanilla twist on top with a mint leaf, and the mint leaf was from, the moon. I don't care about that shit. It's a simple cake that I think it's the Dolly Parton thing, or who's the other Tennessee lady? The one that was with
Paula Deen.
Yeah, it's a Paula Deen or a Dolly Parton little bag mix that she just throws in there, whips it up, and then rips the Walmart can of chocolate icing and spreads that shit on there. Incredible.
You know why it's so
incredible.
Made with love.
Good. Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
So much love.
It's incredible. Yeah, both of you have met my mother. It's not made with
I've
love.
actually never met your mother.
You haven't?
No.
Okay, we'll be prepared. Don't say bad stuff because she'll stab you with a knife.
Yeah, she hit me in the Hummer.
No, she sounds like a wonderful woman.
Yeah, she kept me in in check in line.
I dropped that bomb once in the Hummer and I
I don't know
got
how
struck.
well.
Yeah, she let that. Yeah, I remember the day that she let us okay, you can say whatever you want. Man, it has been F this, F that. It's been. She took the training wheels off, and man, we've been letting it loose. But the moment that Dad says it, horrible. He's the worst person in the world. And she hits him. It's great. It's incredible. But no, it's just a simple thing. Mom would just make it just like along with the cookies and shit like that. Come home after hanging out or whatever. You come upstairs from the basement dwelling and there's a nice little vanilla cake. You gotta love it.
This is just again another draft where we could have so many different picks.
Oh, dude, there's so many
honorable mentions.
Pretzels, baguettes.
Would you?
Garlic breadsticks.
Garlic.
I like pretzels.
Breadstick, garlic bread. Oh, dude.
The Wawa pretzels.
Wawa cream cheese, jalapeno cream cheese.
I had it. I had it again the other day.
Fuck you, man. I need to go.
Oh my god, it was so good. Liz hasn't taken. You can just drive yourself now, right? You got the doctor. The doctor that has MD in his name. MD. He signed off on the list. He said you could drive, right?
He didn't. I told you this. He never said that I couldn't.
Oh, but you just had shoulder and bicep surgery, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Today. Thanks, Liz.
Still did the podcast.
Well done. Because you're not doing this.
What?
You're not moving around. I don't move too much now.
He's moving. He's grooving. He's getting down to it.
God is what we're doing. No, that's a great draft. Oh, we have biscuits too.
Biscuits were up there.
Soft biscuits and gravy. Oh, I'm hungry now. Damn it.
Cheesecake. I'm surprised nobody picked that.
Well, okay,
I pick it all the time. That's why I didn't pick it.
I mean, how baked is a cheesecake?
I mean, you bake a cheesecake. You just chill it afterwards.
I'm kidding. Yeah, no, it was up there, but I don't know.
I also when you went with
the all the time.
When you went with the chain or the cherry Danish, I wanted to go with Amish pie. There's something different about those Amish pies, man.
Listen, I sent the link to the place, specifically the link to the Danishes at this bakery. It's in the Discord.
Oh, I'm never gonna read it. I told you to text it.
I don't. It's on my. Look at it. I will private message it too. Just look at all the flavors they have too. They're so good.
I'm looking at it right now. They got cherry and something else, cream cheese. But that looks great.
You're lying right to my face. God.
Dude, Amish pies.
That's the show. No, that's the show. Fish is mean.
Fish is mean.
That's it.
No, that's not what's stuck with the pies. What's up, man?
I was just gonna say, Amish pies could either feed a family of 24 or be used as a doorstop. Those things are so heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. They're so dense. I don't know. I tell you what, the Sam's pies, the big ones.
Yeah.
They get me. I run over all excited and pick it up and like throw out my arms. Jesus Christ.
You gotta watch your
45 pounds.
Shoulder.
I got a bad shoulder, but I won't complain about it every 5 minutes though. You know?
You have to have a membership to shop at Sam's Club?
Yes.
I have one.
Was that a really dumb question?
No, I think it's a valid question. Yeah, you have to have one for Costco as well.
Which one's better? Costco.
Funny story about that. It ties into baked goods. We had a Christmas party one year. Fish, I think you were there. I ordered a cake from Costco and I didn't have a membership, and they still let me buy it because of what it said. It was the cake that said Merry Christmas Mahana Kwanzaa on it.
Well, so I know for like, I think they're food court, and some things you don't need a membership, because I've heard of people ordering pizza and they just go pick up the pizza and pay for it. It's
because
the middle manager at the checkout gave me a little fuss, but he let me buy it.
It's a wild concept that they're going to turn away money.
Yeah,
because you don't have a little plastic card.
Crazy.
Now I can understand the bulk because we used to buy formula, we buy diapers from Sam's. It's a huge deal. I get that.
Yeah.
But like the bakery or the food court, like, let me get my $1.36 hot dog combo, and the hot dog's as big as my face. Yeah.
Those hot dogs are so good. They're so good.
I wasn't committing a felony or anything. Jeez.
Might have been.
Maybe.
All right. Now that's the show.
Yep, that's the show.
Go eat some baked goods. God, I want it so bad now. I hate all of you.
Go eat baked goods. While you're eating your baked goods, tell your friends about us. Tell your family.
Yeah.
Tell
Thanks
your
for
loved
listening.
Ones. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
The hell out of you guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
I would say GG. Thanks for being a gent. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.